Hello there, my name is Mukonkela, and I'm the host of the Ndalama Insights Business Show. In today's video, I'm going to introduce you to the Budget Manager, which you'll find on Xero. You might have already logged in, so when you go to Xero.com, under Accounting, under Reports, you are going to find the Budget Manager. So today's aim, I'm going to look at three things. I'm going to show you where you can access the Xero Budget Manager, and I'm also going to show you how you can use the Budget Manager. There are actually two ways of using the Budget Manager. There's an Excel-based template that you can export and fill in the data or your figures of your budget, and then you can upload it onto Xero. And the second method is you can actually input your figures directly on the Budget Manager on Xero. And those are the two methods I'm going to show you in terms of how you use the Xero Budget Manager. The final thing I'm going to show you is actually where the magic lies. And this is what you use the budget for and how the budget helps you to achieve your targets. Because at the end of the day, your aim is to ensure that you are achieving your goals or the targets that you've set in your business. And so this is what I'm going to show you today. Let's get started. Hi there, and welcome to Xero's Budget Manager. This is the tool that we are going to use to create your own budget for 2022. Now, there are three things that we are going to consider in today's video. The first one is where you find this Xero Budget Manager. Then the second one is how to use the tool, the Budget Manager tool, to create your own budget. You need to know that there are two ways in which you can create a budget on Xero using the Xero Budget Manager. One way is by using an Excel-based template, which you can export and then input in the data and then upload onto your Xero organization. The second method is by using the Budget Manager directly on Xero itself. So I'm going to consider those two methods of creating your budget. Then the final thing we're going to look at is where the magic lies. How do you use the budget to understand whether your business is on track to achieving your goals and targets for the year? So I hope you've already logged into Xero.com. If not, log in right now. Once you are there, where do you find the Xero Budget Manager? So you find the Xero Budget Manager under Accounting and Reports. Under Reports, you're going to find the Budget Manager under Financial Performance. So you click Budget Manager. It will take you to the actual Budget Manager. So I'm going to cover two ways in which you can use the Budget Manager to create a simple budget for your business. So the first method I'm going to introduce you to is using the Excel template to create your budget. You can choose whichever method works for you easily, but I'll go ahead and show you both. So once you've clicked Budget Manager, this is what you see from Xero. You see that there's the budget you are working with. In my case, I'm working with the overall budget for the entire organization. There's a start date when the budget actually starts. Then there's a 3-month actual, which is this area here. So this is your actual performance for the previous 3 months. And then this budget is covering a period of 12 months. So, and then on the left side, you see the categories that make up your budget. So if you take a closer look, you actually see that this is your profit and loss. So those are the categories that make up your budget. They are made up of your income, your cost of goods, as well as your operating expenditure. At the bottom, if you go down to the end, you see your projected net profit. And then, of course, if you come across this side, you see the actual periods, the months from January all the way up to December 2021. You can use the Xero template by downloading it, inserting your figures, and then uploading it back to Xero. So let me show you how this is done. You click on the import button. So at this point, you're not actually importing the budget. You are trying to find the template so that you can put in the figures and then upload the template to Xero. So you find the template down there. The first point there, you see you can download overall budget as a template. So you click download template. And you choose how you want to download the template. You can download it as a CSV or as an Excel. Excel is pretty quickly, so we're going to download this template as Excel. You enable editing on top there. So this is how the budget template looks like. As you can see, the format of the template is that of the profit and loss. You see your income up there, your expenses, your operating or admin expenses, and then the net profit. So your job here is to just put in the figures as per your plans. What is your projected sales revenue for January? What is your projected sales revenue for February? And you go all the way up to December. Remember, these targets you are setting have to be realistic, and they have to be based on a plan or a strategy that your organization is trying to implement. So if 2022 you want to increase your sales, you need to take that into consideration in your budget. Something to take note also, in order for you to make maximum use of your budget, you need to make sure that you actually understand the different categories of your sales, and don't follow what this template actually shows you, whereby it's just recognizing one line of your sales by calling it just sales. You need to actually categorize or get a detailed breakdown of what your sales revenue really is. Break it down by services or products or whatever thing that you do in your business. So it's easier for you to even create projections per the item that you're selling or per the service that you're providing. So having done that for the income, you need to do the same thing for the expenses. So think about how much it's going to cost you for advertising, for example, in January, in February, all the way up to December. Go down through all the other expenses. Look at your rent. Look at your staff salaries. Make sure that you are basing all these on realistic assumptions. And then look at how much net profit you want to make at the end of each month. Very important that you look at the net profit. Remember, this is the reason why you are in business, to make a profit. So at the end of the day, you need to know how much do I want to carry home. So that is your net profit. So take a look at that very closely. And if your net profit is very low, like in this case, it's a loss, it then means that you either need to look at your expenses or look at increasing your sales projections. But remember, you have to be very realistic. So having worked through the numbers on this template in Excel, you are now ready to upload it. Don't forget to save your work. Now you are ready to upload this template onto Xero. So you go back to Xero. You're already logged into Xero, so you go back to Xero, and then you now browse and look for the template. You find the template where you saved it. In this case, I've saved it under Budgeting 2022, and I'm simply going to double click it and click Import. So once I click Import, the budget is going to be imported onto Xero, and I can take a look at the figures directly on the Budget Manager on Xero. So I'll confirm, okay, that I want to set this as my overall budget. I'll go ahead and confirm. And there you have it. This is the overall budget for 2021 for the business. So what you've done is you've done two things. You've actually created a budget in Excel. You've thought about the numbers. You've been very realistic. Your numbers are backed up by realistic assumptions. You are basing your projections based on your strategy or a plan that you've created for your business. If you want to grow your business in 2022, 22, you are considering all those strategies that you want to implement, and all those things are being considered in the budget, in your numbers. And now you've uploaded that plan. So what you've done here is you've actually converted your plan into actual figures. And now you've uploaded that plan onto Xero. And this is where it is. So this is your overall budget. And this is using the Excel template, which is a quick way of you actually doing your budget. Now, if you've got a department or you've got a cost center, you can actually create a separate budget for your department or your cost center. Or if you work in different regions, for example, you work in Lusaka and you work in the Copper Belt, you can actually create a separate budget for the Copper Belt as well as for Lusaka. So in my case, I've created a separate region, which is the Copper Belt province, and I would love to have a separate budget for the Copper Belt province so that I'm able to see how the team in the Copper Belt is actually working compared to their budget. So I've already created a separate region, which is Copper Belt. So I will click that, and then I will go ahead and upload a separate budget for the Copper Belt. I've created this already in Excel. I've showed you how you do, you import a template. So now I'm just quickly going to upload the budget for Copper Belt, which I've already created. So you come back to import. So now I have two budgets on Xero. I have the overall budget for my company, and then I have a separate budget for my region, which is Copper Belt. So very useful. Of course, Xero is not a perfect software. It's got its weaknesses, especially when it comes to analyzing the budget against a specific region. I've noticed that it's not possible for you to actually do an analysis of the actual performance for a specific region against that specific budget. For example, if I just wanted to see how Copper Belt is performing compared to the budget for that region, at the moment, it's not possible to do that with Xero, and I think that's a great weakness that I hope the Xero team is going to work on and ensure that we get maximum benefit from this budgeting tool. So now, I've shown you one way in which you can create a budget on Xero using the Excel-based template. Let me show you another way of creating your budget. So I'll go back to the overall budget. Now, the second method of creating a budget using the budget manager is by actually inserting the figures directly on the template itself. You don't need to go through the process that we just went through of exporting a template and then putting the figures and uploading the template. If your business is really small and your numbers are really simple, all you need to do is log into Xero, find the budget manager, and slot in the figures. So for example, if you've got a target for your sales of 75,000, just slot them in. So you can just type them in manually like that. So 75,000 and simply enter. Okay. Now, if you are projecting an increase in a certain period, let's say from March, we expect that our sales are going to go up by a certain percentage, you can click this arrow and adjust by percentage. Let's just assume that our sales are going to go up by 10%. So you can adjust that by 10% and apply. Once you do that, you will see that there's an increase by 10% from April going all the way up to year end. So every month there's an increase by 10% of your sales. Supposing you say from July, the sales are going to increase by a fixed amount, okay, each month, and that fixed amount is 500 kwacha. You can simply just type in 500 kwacha and apply. So then you're going to see that there's an increase in the following months by 500 kwacha. So it is that easy for you to actually create a budget directly on Xero. The same thing applies with your expenditure. Let's just assume that the cost of goods are going to increase by 10%. So you click the adjust by percentage each month and type in 10% and apply. And you see that the expenses are going to be increasing by 10% each month. If you come down to the operating expenses, you can slot them in one by one. If you know your rent, for example, is 10,000 kwacha a month, you can simply slot in the 10,000 kwacha each month and apply across fixed amount across each month. So there you go, that's the 10,000. Supposing in April or in March, the landlord says we're going to increase the rent by a fixed amount of 500 kwacha or 1,500 kwacha. You can just click that, apply fixed amount, punch in the 1,500 kwacha and apply, and it's going to, sorry, let me just do that again. Adjust amount by 1,500 kwacha. Remember, we are starting with it's 10,000. Let me just redo that. So you come to adjust by amount each month, which is 1,500, and apply, and you are going to see that there's going to be an increase of 1,500 each month. But then what you might not want is this increasing all the time by 1,500. So what you do is go to April and apply fixed amount to each month and click apply, and it's going to be fixed for the rest of the period. So these are the two methods of using the budget manager to create a simple budget for your business. Now let's take a look at how your budget is looking. So if you go back to accounting, you click reports, you're going to find the budget summary. This is your budget. So remember, we've done two budgets in my demonstration of how you use the budget manager. The first one is the overall budget. So we're going to take a look at that. We'll look at the budget summary report for the overall budget, and then we'll also quickly take a look at the budget summary report for the Copperbelt province. So under reports, you see this budget summary. When you click this budget summary, it is simply your budget. So let's open it. So there you go. This is how your overall budget is looking like. And you can adjust the period from there. So if you want to view the 12-month period, you can start from January 2021 by searching for January 2021 and 12 months or periods, and then you'll say update, and it's going to start from January and it will go all the way up to December. So there you go, it's showing us now January up to December, if you go like that. So this is your budget. For the demo company, for the demonstration that I'm giving you, they're expecting total sales each month of 75,000 in the first few months, and then they expect an increase. And then they expect to spend total expenses of 45,000 in January, and then of course going forward. And they expect to make a loss in January, in February, in March, and expect to start turning a profit from April going forward. Which makes a bit of sense. Maybe this company is trying to come out of the COVID period and they know that they're going to struggle the first few months. And then starting from April, they expect that their sales are going to pick up, and as a result, they're going to start turning a profit. So sounds very realistic to me and sounds very good. So let's take a look at the other budget and how it's looking. So let's look at the Copperbelt province, budget for the Copperbelt province for the same period. So there's the budget for the Copperbelt province. Copperbelt province is projecting sales slightly less than the overall company sales, which is realistic. So they're expecting to sell 22,500 for January, February, March, and then of course they expect their sales to increase in April. And if you go down to the net profit, again they're expecting to make quite a lot of losses. If I was the budget manager for Copperbelt, I am definitely going to relook at these figures so that we ensure we are turning a profit. If you look at it right now, they're making losses throughout. I would definitely go back and look at this budget. So there you go. These are the two methods of creating your budget on Xero and how you actually see your summary, the budget summary report. Now let's take a look at the final thing. Where does the magic lie? Why do we have to do this budget? So I'm going to introduce you to a report. If you go under accounting or reports, you're going to find the budget variance report. Now this is where your effort pays off. All that time that you've spent creating this budget, this is where you actually see the results. So let's have a look at the budget variance report and its usefulness when it comes to ensuring that our business is on track to achieving our goals. So you find the budget variance report under the same financial performance, and there it is, budget variance. Now a variance is simply the difference between one figure and another figure. The difference is what gives you the variance. A variance can be either a negative or a positive depending on what angle you're looking at it. For example, if our budget, if our sales target in January is 75,000, as is the case in this company, and then the actual sales achieved are 60,000, it means that we've got a negative variance because we did not achieve our target of 75,000. So that is what variance is. All you need to know is whether it's a positive or a negative, and it depends on the budget. Okay, so with the budget variance report, you are actually comparing your actual performance against the budget, and it's giving you the variance, which is, as I've explained, the difference between your budget and your actual. So for the demo company, for the period ended 30 November 2021, this was the actual performance or the actual sales that they made, and these are the actual expenditure. This was the budget, the target that they were working with. Now look at the variance. Because the target for sales in November for this demo company was 200,000, but they only managed to sell 2,067. Now the difference is 197, and it's in red. It's in red because it's a negative variance. It shows that this company did not meet its targets in November. Now this is a red light. The variance percentage is 99%. If I was the managing director of this company, I would definitely call the person responsible, the sales team, and find out what went wrong. Okay? Then if you look at, let's look at the expenses. Advertising. We expected to spend 7,500, but we spent 0, giving us a positive variance of 100%. Now, as to whether this is a good thing or not, is really up to you. I consider this not, even though it's a positive variance because we did not spend the money, I would still ask myself, why did we not spend the money? Because we had budgeted to spend it. Could this have affected our sales? Is that the reason why our sales are in red? Because we are not spending any money on advertising. It's like we're just there. And that is why our sales are also being affected. So the budget variance report is a report where the magic lies. It gets you thinking and making the right decision for your business. The reason why you produce this report is so that you can take control of your sales as well as your expenses and get on track to meeting your targets. So in this case, you see that the company is not meeting their sales targets So they've got a lot of work to do. They need to go back, look at what the issues are, and implement them so that come December or come January, this picture is going to start changing. And this is where the magic lies. If you do this regularly, we expect that you're going to gain control of both your revenue as well as your expenditure and get on track to achieving your goals.
Hey there, I hope you found today's video on budgeting useful and you picked out a few tips that you can use to get started today budgeting in your business. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment section below and I will respond to your questions. If you need a follow-up video on any questions or queries that you might have concerning today's video, I'm available to create another video to explain or clarify your queries. If you want to learn more about Xero, or if you want to implement or install Xero as an accounting system in your business, you are free to contact me. I'll leave my contact details in the description of this video and you can call me, you can send me an email and we will connect with you and explain to you the next processes in terms of how you go about setting up a very simple accounting software for your business, and then you'll be on your way to effective financial reports that will enable your business to grow. Please remember to subscribe to this channel, to smash the like button, to share with other like-minded entrepreneurs, and to always look out for actionable insights. See you in my next video.